Aside from our previous video, there's still some information you need to know about Velveteen Lops. Behavior. Velveteen Lops are actually very similar to most other types of domesticated rabbits in the plain and simple sense that they are generally well-behaved rabbits that might not be shy but are also more playful than other breeds. Even when left alone in an open room, they almost will not cause any trouble due to their well-behaved and good-natured personalities. It is hard to imagine a Velveteen Lop making it hard for you to take care of it because it really is a well-behaved rabbit. Due to its affectionate side, it is normal to expect the Velveteen Lop to want to be around you when you are nearby. They will do anything to get your attention because they really demand that you give them the attention they need to foster their affectionate side. Your Velveteen Lop might want to stay close to you as much as it can or may even show signs that it wants to be handled or cuddled. Putting it on your lap and stroking its hair may be enough attention for this very affectionate rabbit. Velveteen Lops also display a side that is quite playful. Playing with them or allowing them to play with toys that are safe for rabbits is a good way to promote their playful side. Yet, despite how playful they can get, Velveteen Lops are generally quite calm when showing this side. They are not too overly hyper or playful to the point that they might cause you some trouble. Instead, they play in a controlled manner that shows how truly good-natured these rabbits are. However, some of these rabbits may act like cats in the sense that they will show their playful side on their own terms. When they want to play, they will play. But if they don't, they will most likely stay behave the entire time while showing no interest in playing with you. Handling the Velveteen Lop allows it to show its docile side. This rabbit is so well behaved that it will allow you and strangers to safely handle it without so much as showing any signs of distress on its part. It will submit to the way people handle or carry it just as long as it is done in a manner that will allow it to feel safe and stress-free. All in all, its generally mild-mannered behavior and calm demeanor allows the Velveteen Lop to be the ideal pet to have for any kind of household. It is great for small children because of how easy it is to handle. It also is a good pet for older people to have because of its well-behaved personality. Eating habits. The Velveteen Lop follows a diet that is similar to any other domesticated pet rabbit. It is generally a herbivore and thrives on the grass and plant-based diet that is full of fiber and other essential nutrients that help the rabbit's overall health. Generally, make it a point to feed it with a lot of grass or hay since this is where they get the majority of their nutritional needs. Hay is very important for digestion because it is rich in fiber. Having your rabbit constantly chewing on hay will also keep its dental health in check as it prevents its teeth from overgrowing. The general rule that most people follow when it comes to the Velveteen Lop's diet is that its calorie intake should be about 70 to 80% hay. However, it might be best to stay closer to 80% since hay already has most of what your rabbit needs. Meanwhile, the rest of the rabbit's daily calorie intake should be composed of foods that supplement its diet. Veggies may make up at least 10% of their diet. Meanwhile, you can also feed your Velveteen Lop with rabbit pellets that can be purchased commercially. Healthy treats should be treated as treats in the sense that they should only be given to your rabbit occasionally and not all the time. Starchy vegetables and fruits should be treated as treats due to how they are rich in sugar. Always keep an eye on the type of food you give your Velveteen Lop and the food portions as well. This type of rabbit might not be prone to obesity, but it should still be very important to make sure that it stays within a manageable weight so that it gets to maximize its lifespan. Water. Due to how playful it can get from time to time, the Velveteen Lop needs to keep itself hydrated constantly. The best way to make sure that your rabbit always has water to drink is to place a water dish inside its cage. The dish should not be big enough that your rabbit can fit in it. Velveteen Lops can get stressed when they stay in the water. Of course, you do not want it to get stressed, as it is detrimental to its overall health. Lastly, always keep an eye on how clean the water is to prevent any kind of waterborne illness or infection. Cage. Domesticated rabbits like the Velveteen Lop are bred to be able to live well in a domestic setup. That means that it will be easy for them to adjust to life in an enclosure. Of course, they are not too picky when it comes to the kind of enclosure you give them. Any kind of commercial rabbit cage will be enough for the Velveteen Lop because it is not very picky when it comes to the type of living space you provide it. It is always best to house the Velveteen Lop in an indoor environment. That is because these rabbits are very susceptible to getting preyed on by different predators due to how they are not the biggest and heaviest types of rabbits. On top of that, having it living indoors keeps it away from infections, parasites, and sudden changes in temperature. As mentioned, Velveteen Lops are susceptible to respiratory illness and infections. Keeping it indoors minimizes the risk of it suffering from illnesses and diseases it can easily contract outdoors. The general rule when it comes to the Velveteen Lop's cage is that it should be about 5 times its adult size. This allows it to feel like it is not living in a room that is too cramped. And because this rabbit can be quite playful from time to time, you have to give it the space it needs to move around and play with the toys you give it inside its cage. If you want your Velveteen Lop to feel safe inside its cage, you can provide it with a hide box or with a sleeping quarter where it can safely retreat to whenever it feels like it wants to be shy. Also, so that your rabbit does not have to live uncomfortably, avoid cages with wire mesh flooring because that can be painful to their feet. You can top the flooring with anything soft so as to avoid causing injuries to your Velveteen Lop's feet. Availability. Velveteen Lops are not the rarest types of rabbits and can be bought in a lot of pet stores and from reputable rabbit breeders in America, since this rabbit has just recently been recognized by the ARBA and even has its own following from rabbit enthusiasts. The Velveteen Lop can be had at a price that ranges from $15 to $150. The cheap ones tend to be the poorest in terms of their overall pedigree. Meanwhile, expensive ones are usually the ones that were bred from parents that were meant for exhibition purposes. If you want a Velveteen Lop that is not too expensive but still has pretty good genetics, you may be able to get one for a price that is close to $100. Taking care of Velveteen Lops. Velveteen Lops require the same amount of care as you would give any other domesticated breed of rabbit. They are not the most demanding in terms of the care requirements that allow them to thrive well, but they also are quite unique in terms of what you need to do to make sure that they stay healthy and thriving. For one, the Velveteen Lop is very demanding when it comes to attention. These affectionate rabbits tend to require a lot of attention and affection on your part so that you can allow them to foster their affectionate side. On top of that, they are also playful from time to time and will need to be given some time outside their cage to run around and play with toys. While the Velveteen Lop has the same kind of diet that most other domesticated rabbit breeds require, the one thing you need to make sure of is that its diet should be composed of 80% hay at the most, because how this rabbit needs it for his digestive and dental health. Fibrous vegetables and fruits low on starch should also be given as supplements to its overall hay-based diet. Lastly, Velveteen Lop is more susceptible to respiratory infections and illnesses. It requires that you keep in an indoor environment that allows it to stay warm under constant temperatures. A sudden drop in the temperature or even having it exposed to the cold can very well cause colds. If you enjoyed this video, kindly press the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, so that you don't miss out on videos like this. Thank you for watching.